Hi folks, and welcome back to the painting bench. I've had a couple of requests and some really nice comments on how I paint my 6mm figures, so I thought I'd put together a kind of a tutorial to show the process that I go through when painting my miniatures. First of all, more importantly, the environment that you paint your figures in. Lots of light. That's my one big tip. As much light as possible. It just helps. It's bad enough when it comes to painting something as small as that. it just makes life a lot easier. The second most important thing, of course, would be that you are painting 6mm figures. You're not painting 28mm figures or bigger. Detail comes when you have them in groups rather than the individual figure itself. They look great when you've got them all bunched together. Looking at the individual figure, you think, yeah, not so great. But when you look at them together, they look great. They're fine. Nothing wrong with 6mm whatsoever. So, how do I get from the basic 6mm figure through to the finished article on the base? What I do first of all is I look at what I'm painting itself, what are the most basic features of the uniform that I'm painting. At the moment I'm painting some Russian dragoons here, so you just look at the figure itself. Green, lots of green, green jackets, black helmets, dark grey to green, olive green sort of overall trousers, yellow, red on the jacket lapels and cuffs, and obviously horse furniture, green, some white as well. So that's really what you've got to concentrate on when you look at a 6mm figure. You're not going to get a huge amount of detail. If you try, that's on the road to madness, believe me. So you've got to just really look at a basic figure that you're painting, basic uniform of the figures that you're wanting to paint, and just stick to that. That's all you need to do. As I said before, the detail comes with the mass effect of 6mm figures. So the way I start the process, obviously, all important lolly sticks for keeping the figures together. Then these are one of my Russian dragoons that I'm putting together. I paint them in batches, so it just makes life easier. What I do is I paint everything, the most biggest area of the colour. So painting a horse brown, I paint everything brown. You can see the varying colours of the horses from grey to dark brown, and that's the start of the process. A lot of people like to paint theirs black. Some people like to paint them white. I don't know if you picked it out, but if you look at this figure here, who's a sort of a grey colour compared to the brown colour, me personally, the detail slowly deteriorates with the darker the actual colour that you paint initially. So to be honest, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I always paint my figures the basic colour as an undercoat. So if you're painting horses, it's the horse flesh colour, the whole figure. If you're painting British infantry, obviously the majority of the figure would be red, or if you're painting Russians, it would be green. French and Prussians would be dark blue, and the Austrians obviously would be white. So that's the start of the process that I always do. It just means that you're there almost with the horse already, as I'll show later on with the different the processes that I follow. So that is the starting point for my figures. I'll come back in a bit with the next stage. Hi, and welcome back, and we've moved on a step further. This stage, it is basically painting in all of the block colours of the uniforms, the skin tones, the helmets, boots, grey for the tunic, trousers I should say, green for the jackets, and painted in the slung carbines, and that's pretty much it for this stage. One important thing obviously is when painting 6mm figures, I tend to use a tone lighter than you would in reality. The colour green I'm using is quite a light shade of green. I think it's a army painter green, no, viola green, and it's a deep green, so quite a light green really compared to what the Russian uniform probably was in reality. But the reason for that will become apparent in the next process, and I'll be back with you shortly. But back again, and almost there. Basically you give the figures a wash to pick out all the detail, saves you having to do it, particularly on a 6mm figure. Picks out the reins and the details on the saddle cloths and the uniforms themselves, and that's the reason why I paint the figures a much lighter colour than they would be in reality, because obviously when you wash any scalar figure, it drops them down a tone, so you've got to be wary of that if you're going to use this process. But yeah, almost done now, the last bit to come, and then I'll show you the finished figures. And back again with the finished unit of Russian dragoons. And if you remember back to our original picture for reference, the red on the horse furniture and the uniforms, just basically, as I said before, picked out the minimal amount of detail, and on a 6mm figure that's pretty much it. As I said before, the detail comes in when all these guys are based together. But yeah, there you have it. That's my process of painting the 6mm figures, and these will be gracing the table very shortly. And I hope this little tutorial has helped out those that are looking at painting 6mm figures, or those that just like to have an idea of how I paint my figures. As always, thanks for watching, and I shall return soon. Thanks very much. Bye for now.